Hi everybody, how's it going? It's Jackson. Welcome back to Endeavours for Tuesday the 20th of January. As always, if you're just looking for one endeavour on this list and you just like to jump straight to that, check the timestamps below. There'll be ones for each of the endeavours here. I would not go with a trial. I think that's the only option here not worth doing. For 15 seals, this one, it can take a very long time to get a group. Usually the amount of time it would take to do the rest of the endeavors is longer than just getting a group. And then you also have to do the trials. Sometimes they can take 15 minutes. Some of the newer trials can take upwards of 30 to 40 minutes, depending on the team, depending on if your team dies in like wipes, and you have to redo like a boss. There's a lot of things here that can go wrong, as opposed to these, which are all honestly pretty easy and most importantly can be done on your own. This one here, there's no way to do it. Well, I suppose you can solo specific trials, but it would take you like 20 minutes. And that's assuming you've got like the best possible build for it. So I would not recommend that either. Okay, so I'm going to start with stealing from the environment and crafting with jewelry crafting. These two here are really good. The only thing is, with this one here, it requires Summerset. You can't do it without this DLC, unfortunately. Though that being said, if there is one DLC I think you need, define need, I suppose. But this is arguably the most important expansion to get, because jewelry crafting is, I feel, a very pivotal part of this game. But that being said, Greymore is becoming a base game thing, and some of the older DLCs are becoming a base game thing. I suspect at some point jewelry crafting will also become a base game thing. So if you're willing to be patient, I suspect that you will not have to pay for this eventually for access to jewelry crafting. I don't know for sure though. I'm no fortune teller or anything like that. So yeah, just take that with a grain of salt. So let me start with stealing from the environment. Very easy one. This will take you probably 10 seconds, though you'll also probably want to sell the items. So my preferred stomping grounds for this one is in Craglorn in Belkarth. There is another option which we'll go through in a second, which is a little bit easier to reach at start, but they're both easy options to use. And this one here is quicker, I think, to get straight into compared to the other option, but they have their merits. So what you want to do is find Gem and Flask here. If you've never been to this location, you'll need to use home tours to get to Craglorn, or get someone to bring you here by joining their group. And when they reach this area, you right-click and go travel to player. But if you don't want to have to rely on someone else, you can use home tours. I'll have a prep video in the description you can check out to explain how home tours works. Basically, imagine having a bunch of way shrines for free that you can access at any time as soon as you start the game. That's what home tours is, basically. It's really helpful to use. Elenir Private Arena. This is the house that you'd be looking for in home tours. Go into this one, go out the door, travel slightly west, and you'll have access to Belkarth. And as soon as you enter the zone, you'll have the way shrine, so you can always access this area from this point onwards quite easily. So, Gem and Flask, what are you looking for? Enter the building, go upstairs. There'll be a bunch of stuff on this bench, as well as hanging from these ropes here. There's sometimes a rabbit in this corner. You've also got the tomato crate, and a bunch of bags and crates over here as well that have a bunch of things in them. Everything here counts as stealing something from the environment. So you can take all this. You don't even have to be in stealth. You can take everything. Now, each of these bags counts as one item, so you do have to be aware of that. But there is a lot of stuff right here you can loot from. There's also a crate. There's more crates over here. There's a barrel. This is the only thing that like isn't stolen. I don't know why they've added this, but you can loot this, and it's like, I don't know. Yeah, it's like getting something at level 1 when you start the game. It's very odd. Yeah, that's just how it be. So if you go out here, you've also got a few crates that you can steal from here and over here. And as far as I'm aware, I've never received a bounty from looting these. I don't even know if it's possible. You shouldn't tempt fate there, but as far as I'm aware, it is not possible. There's also a bunch of items down here you can loot. Same thing. Now, if you become really unlucky and there is not enough items here to loot from, go into the Outlaws Refuge over here, just around the corner. As soon as you enter the Outlaws Refuge and then leave, it counts as leaving the zone and coming back, which resets everything in a zone. In this case, it will reset everything in the German Flask, allowing you to go back in and just take everything again. And because there is nobody on the top floor to stop you from taking anything, you can just do this as many times as you need, and you'll never get a bounty. It's impossible. As far as I'm aware, it's not possible to actually stand anywhere and loot this stuff and get a bounty of some kind. Maybe the stuff outside, but yeah. So what I'll do now is I'll just go through quickly selling the items, because you can't sell these items to a normal person. If you get a bounty and have to pay it off to a guard, it will remove all these items from your inventory. They're not worth much, getting these items particularly, so it's not a big deal. But in order to sell them, you have to go to a fence. In the Outlaws Refuge here, if you just go down the gap in the fence here, down to where this waterfall is, this is where a fence will be found. So you can just go into the store, sell everything here, and that'll be it. This will level up your leisure domain a little bit too, which is, I think, very impactful. There's some things there that can really help you out. So if you've got access to the Necrom DLC and have access to Tel Var Peninsula, if you come to the city of Necrom here, to the north side, you'll find the Necrom Underways, this area here. This is full of urns, which you can steal for the Endeavour, and it is impossible to be spotted in here either, because there's no guards. There is so many items in here, I don't think it's feasibly possible for there not to be enough items. Now, the only difference here between these two, Craglorn's one is quicker and just easier to use, but this one here, you can clear everything in this room. Then the Outlaws Refuge is right here, so the Outlaws Refuge is even easier to get to. You can sell everything to the fence, and you can make a pretty significant chunk of your leisure domain XP up. This is, in my opinion, the quickest way to level leisure domain in the game. Just take everything from this place and sell it to the fence in there. Just be aware there is a fencing limit to how many items you can sell to fences and launder to fences a day. Each one's different though, so you can do both. And you can increase the amount using this passive here. I only really like to go 1, otherwise it's really, well, if you've got a lot of skill points, obviously it's fine, but it's very low impact for using up a skill point. It's easy to get here too, because this way shrine is unlocked as soon as you start the game and unlock this DLC or purchase it. So from here you just go north and it brings you into the city. And from here you just follow the road up here, and then the underways will be right here. Okay, next up, let's talk about crafting with jewelry. First things first, if you have access to jewelry crafting writs, I would advise doing one of those if you can, because it'll be between 2 and 3 items, but also it'll complete a quest if you haven't completed this one here for the Golden Pursuit. This is probably one of the best options to choose. That being said, if you want to do this endeavor as cheaply as possible, crafting pewter rings is your best bet, because all you need is 8 pewter ounce. That's literally it. So go to creation, quantity 4 of pewter rings, that's 8. What I would advise you do straight away is just deconstruct those to get some of the material back, otherwise you're just basically wasting it. Okay, there's 2 ways to get yourself some pewter quickly if you want to do this endeavor. That's mostly what I would advise, just buying a stack of pewter, and every time this endeavor comes up, just do this, because this will show up quite frequently in dailies, and also shows up in Golden Pursuits from time to time. So you go jewelry crafting in materials in guild stores, go to material here, search this up, you might find some pewter ounce. I would only buy stacks or like any pewter ounce for anything less than 10 gold each. The unit price here is important, because the total can be quite cheap, but the unit price can be quite high, so you're wasting a lot of money when you shouldn't be. If you can't find any, and you'd like to search specifically for pewter, let me show you this website here. This is Tamriel Trade Center. I'll make sure and a link to this website is in the description. So just go to search for item here. Please type pewt, pewter. Oh, sorry, pewter ring. That's the thing we're trying to craft and not the item we need. Okay, so advanced search. Look this up. And if you're short on cash, you probably just want to go anywhere between 1 and 10. Maybe 1 and 8 if you want. But yeah, just 1 and 10, 1 and 25 is probably fine. Then you go unit price 0 to 10. The unit price will likely be a little different depending on which console or PC or server you're on, but most of the time it'll be pretty cheap, I think. So you can just search that up. Look what's here. Now this is in NA, so this won't be anything I can find on this server. But yeah, you can see a bunch of stuff here. 5 for pretty cheap, 10 for 70 gold. That is you can get that in like a couple of minutes. So yeah, that's great. If you need this kind of gold to do this with, in the description, you can check the other prep video alongside the home tools one. It'll show you how to get this amount of gold, like guaranteed, with basically no like, you don't need to be very good at the game. You just basically need to run around and press E a bunch of times, and it takes probably a few minutes. So yeah, that kind of gold, easy to get with that prep video. So check that out if you need. So yeah, just check out this. Just make sure, yeah, you get the right server and console. So I'm on EU PC right now, for example. So you just have to make sure you check that. Alright, the other thing you can do is search around and find yourself some jury seams. Each jury seam will give you anywhere between 3 and 4 dust. If you have the champion point in the green tree to give you plentiful harvest, you have a 50% chance at max to get anywhere between, I think, 7 and 8, which can be really good because 2 of those basically and you'll have enough to refine. You have to refine at 10 at a time. You can't just refine 1 each. So yeah, unfortunately you can't just get 8 due to dust. Now there's a few caveats here. When you refine 10, you'll get anywhere between 7 and 10 of the refined pewter. In that case, I don't think it's a big problem because you can just deconstruct the 3 rings that you can craft with 7. You'll probably get 1 pewter back and you can just craft the other one. Also though, the main important thing is you can only get pewter dust in the environment if your character is level 25 and below, and /or if your jury crafting level, or your engraver passive, sorry, is 1 out of 5. If it's 2 to 5 out of 5, this one won't work. And if your character is above level 25, they won't get pewter, they'll get like copper or whatever it is that's afterwards. So yeah, just be aware of what level your character is and what their engraver passive is to make sure you get pewter in that case. And just remember, if one of those is not, like one of those prerequisites is not met, you have a 50-50 chance of getting something else, which sucks, kind of. That being said, a lot of jewelry in this game, like jewelry raw materials in this game, are quite expensive to sell, so you could just do that instead. Okay, next up, let's have a look at Conservatory Furnishings. So what I'm going to do first is go to my house. I know that sounds weird, but I want to show you that if you have a small house with a courtyard, or just like a grassy sort of courtyard, it is quite almost guaranteed that you'll have a conservatory furnishing. So if you've got one of those, I just want to make sure you can check that first. Also, I should point out the weekly is furnishings. I went through this yesterday, but the point still stands here. If you want to do I highly suggest you do this option today, especially if you haven't done the weekly, because you can do the weekly as well. It just takes like an extra 20 seconds. I'm not even kidding. It's one of the easiest weeklies in the game. So firstly, let's just check our house. Houses in this game can be found under this collected category here. Now you can get some for free, and I'll show you how in a minute. I just want to show you the first thing here. So I've got, the only one I've got here is with a courtyard is this one here. This is a house you have to buy with real money, but there's some good ones that you can buy for like 100,000 gold or less. So Autumn's Gate and Rift, Blackvine Villa over here, Cyrodiilic Jungle House, and Twin Arches. These are sort of my 4 mainstays. Okay, so once you're in your house with a courtyard or whatever you want to check out, go to the housing editor, go browse, go to retrieve. You can see here in the Conservatory Furnishings section, I've got 48 in total. So boulders, plants, flowering plants, trees, that stuff, they all considered to be Conservatory Furnishings. So in this case, what you can do is just either go into this menu and retrieve one, or if you know where one is around you, as an example, this Verdant Hosta here, you can pick it up, you can put it away, and then you use undo and redo to put it back on the ground, put it back in your inventory, put it back on the ground, and that will just speed up the process very quickly. And for the weekly, the only thing you have to do extra is just do it more. So just press undo and redo, just spam the button over and over, and that's it. That's all you have to do. You just do that 20 times back and forth. So yeah, that's all there is to it. Now, if you need a house, let me show you what to do. Because you can get a house for free, and then you can get a furnishing under the Conservatory category for 100 gold. That's it. And that's all you need. You just need one. So what I would advise you do is just after buying all this stuff, which I'll show you in a second, just put it over here somewhere in the corner in one of your houses. There, I got one there, for example. And then once it comes up in the endeavors, just come to your house, pick it up, put it away, undo, redo, undo, and you're done. Yeah, these ones are excellent for that reason. Okay, so let's go find a house for free. Alright, so head to a way shrine. You want to go to Glanumbra here to Daggerfall Way Shrine. You'll have this way shrine as soon as you start the game, so you don't have to go anywhere to unlock this. You can travel here straight away. What you want to do is just come over here to the east. You want to head straight into this building here called the Rosy Lion. So the Conservatory Furnishing can be found right here from Rosica. So just open this menu. Anything here, like these rocks here, so any of these items, if you check the description on the top left, you'll see it says Furnishing Conservatory. The second word, as long as that says Conservatory, that's all you need to worry about. Now, do be aware, some of these items are quite large, and these likely will not fit in the free houses, so just make sure you get something a little smaller, like the green curly fern, which you would have seen in the last house we were just in, or maybe something like one of these small shrubs here, because they will fit much better into these small houses here. If you go this one, for example, I'm pretty sure it covers the entire room. So yeah, probably not a good idea to get one of these. So yeah, they only cost 100 gold. As I said earlier, just use the Endeavor prep in the description for just early gold. It will take probably like a few minutes to get that much gold. It's pretty straightforward. And you buy one and you're set for life, basically. Okay, so for Lon Demery, this is the person you get your free house from. So just start a quest with her, and to complete it, you just keep talking through the chat here. So you'll get 300 gold if you're max level. If you're lower level, you get less. I think 70 gold is the minimum. So that'll almost get you the furnishing that you need, just to gotta put a bit more in. Now, a house will show up here if you haven't got them yet. The houses that you get depends on the alliance, but there'll be 3 here that pop up once you complete this quest. So yeah, this one, or this one. I would advise doing this on 3 different alliance characters so you can get all 3, because they are all quite handy to have in their own ways. And if you don't have enough room to put in a bunch of different furnishings for these endeavors as they pop up, having a couple more can make it easier to deal with that. You can also just create a mule character and just have all the furnishings in their inventory and do it that way. Yeah, whatever works for you. So that's it. So now that you've got the little apartments, just go into those with one of those Conservatory Furnishings, just place them down, undo, redo, undo, and then that's it. All done. Okay, let's talk about Tel Var. So this option here, the main main way is going to be killing Dremora or any Daedra in Imperial City in the zone, and they give you small amounts of Tel Var. It's gonna be a bit of a weird place to be because it's a PvPvE zone. So you fight players of other alliances and you fight a lot of enemies, like tough enemies in there. But I'll just go through one thing first. So if you check your containers section of your characters, Palinur's boomboxes, these are one of the Alliance War events. If you get these and open them, they can give you Tel Var Stones, which will count as progress to the Endeavor. So you can do that. Also, the same thing works for the light sorry, is it light Tel Var satchels that you get from completing the daily quests within the Imperial City? Just be aware. Light Tel Var satchels, the Zenithar boxes, if you have any of those left over, they also can have Tel Var Stones in them. And yeah, the light Tel Var satchels. So realistically, you can get to a point, like you can do those daily quests, and there are daily quests you can do in Imperial City where you don't have to do anything PvP related or fight anything, really. It's very slow, but it is possible. And you can basically just prep this in the long term and get a bunch of Tel Var satchels, and whenever this one comes up, just take this from the satchels, and you never have to step foot in Imperial City when these actually come up. So, yeah. But I'll just go through Imperial City, though, because, yeah, I assume most people don't have those, but just in case you do. So, firstly, Imperial City can be found in the Alliance War tab here, just alongside Cyrodiil. Well, I suggest you go here a lot for some of the other endeavors here, so you'll probably be familiar with it. So, enter the campaign. Accept. And we're headed inside. Okay, now before you do anything in Imperial City, be aware that if you have Tel Var in your inventory, if you die, you lose half of it. And other players will take the Tel Var if they kill you. So only do this, like only actually have a lot of Tel Var on you if you really know how to PvP in this game. Because some of the people in this place, they are brutal. So my advice here for the best results is to go to this room here. I just call it the ladder room. It doesn't actually have an icon or anything. But it's got 6 ladders. Each one leads to each of the 6 districts up above. So you can earn your Tel Var through the sewers, but these places are... they're narrow, they're windy, and they can... There's a lot of places for people to like ambush you and shit. Whereas up in the districts, it's much more open, I find. And... there's one main reason that I suggest this over the other stuff, and that's the safe towers that you start in. So let me just go to the arena district. This is my preferred one, because the daily quest that you can get here is really, really easy. Okay, so to get Tel Var in this game, what you need to do is kill Dremora, like these ones as an example. So, are we waiting on anything here? Okay, so I should first point out here, this is a patrolling horror. So in the Golden Pursuits, you might have an option here for patrolling horror that you want to do. This one here. So killing these big dudes here, they're very easy to spot if you go into stealth because they have these big blue rings around them. They're basically like stealth preventers. So the cool thing about this one is you don't actually have to kill them yourself. If you just go up and damage one, and then they end up dying to something else, it can be other players, like not in your alliance even, and as long as you do a little bit of damage, it will count for you. So yeah, and you can loot it afterwards as well, which is kind of nice. But yeah, just expect that you'll get a lot of attention by pulling one of those, and probably find other players, especially right now with the PvP event about to start. So just be aware of that. So you only need to find 2 of those. There's 2 per zone, or 2 per district. It's quite often that they'll just be dead, and you'll have to wait for them to respawn, so probably don't go looking for them. But if you spot one, it can't hurt to attack one, especially the 6 that are that drop monster sets, because some of those, well, 1 or 2 of those monster sets might be nice. The Ice Atronach dude and the and Baron Thirsk are good options. So here's no soul. So Baron Thirsk is good. I used the one piece on this character actually for the two separate recovery options there. That's quite nice. The other one is Noon Attack, because it gives you Major Brittle, which is a very powerful buff, but it's not a monster set I think that is used much in meta stuff. I don't know for sure, but it is a very interesting set that gives you a very powerful buff of debuff. Okay, so when you kill Daedra, like that one for example, you'll get Tel Var Stones. That's how you earn them in this game. Now, that was a lot. You have to consider the fact that I have 10k Tel Var on me, so I get like a way higher amount. So that's what I want to go through next. That's how you earn your Tel Var. Now, I'm being very, very stingy here and cowardly because I have 10k and I don't want to lose it. But yeah, Tel Var, you earn it from killing anything. You can kill the big dudes, like the Petroleum Horror that I just talked about. You can kill the regular Daedra. You can kill the tier 1 Daedra, like the Zivkins and the Atronachs and stuff, and they give you more. I'd probably go with one of those Ogrims there that you would have seen. You can also kill players if you want, but it's tough, especially if you find one of the good ones. So yeah, if you got a PvP, you can try that, but prepare to be surprised. Some of these people are very good. So there's two things you can do to increase the Tel Var gain that you get. One is through the amount of Tel Var that you have on you. You can get up to a 4 times multiplier. It goes, I think, 200, 1,000, and then 10,000? Or is it 200, 1,000, 2,000? I can't remember. But yeah, I think 10,000 is the 4 times multiplier. It's very risky doing this though, because that's a big loss if you die. So the only time I would do this is if you're going to do what I did there and like be an absolute bitch on one of the safe towers there and just attack the Dremora when they get close enough to the tower. The other way is the districts. So each of these districts here, if they are owned by your alliance, they give you a capture bonus of 33%. So that is extra Tel Var gain everything you kill, including the little Dremora and the bigger Daedra that you can get more for. So as far as I'm aware, if all 6 districts are under your faction's control and you have 10,000 Tel Var on you, killing a single one of those tier 1 enemies is like 120, 110 Tel Var Stones. So one of those and like 2 regular Dremora, that is enough to get this one done very quickly. But it's a bit risky doing that. Again, you must make sure you stay on the top of those things, otherwise, yeah, you don't want to be losing that Tel Var. Obviously, if you don't use it, it doesn't really matter too much, but yeah. Alright, so the last thing I want to talk about here is getting those light Tel Var satchels. Because the PvP event is about to start, it is maybe likely that you'll want to look at these to get the 1 ticket from the Imperial City daily quests. These, in my opinion, are the easiest ones to do. Killing Zivkin in the Memorial District for speaking for the dead sparking, and Lifeblood of an Empire. This one especially is amazing. Probably the best of all 6 quests. The other 4, in my personal opinion, are not worth bothering with. This one here, Rescue Imperial Citizens. All you have to do is just go into the Arena District. There'll be citizens next to Dremora. You can either press E around them yourself, or you can kill the Dremora next to them, and it will count for the option. Even if... Here's the thing, right? Even if another player goes in, kills the Dremora, and they run away, so long as you're near that area where they die, it will count for you as well, even if that player is from another alliance. And even if they don't kill the Dremora, even if they actually interact with the... Oh wow, look at this guy. Even if the player on the ground that is not in your alliance goes and rescues these people, it will still count for you. So you can literally get other people to do your work for you. It's actually really nice. So these guys here, if I just go ahead and kill this Dremora. There we go. Got one there. I got 2 actually, I think. Or did I? Oh, I only got 1? Interesting. Maybe I was just out of range for the other one. Yeah, anyway, so you can literally just sit up here and like say this dude kills one of the Dremora here. You can literally just like, you'll get participation for the quest. So, if you're patient enough, you can just sit up here, watch YouTube in the background or something, and this quest will literally just be done for you. You can also just go down there if you don't have any Tel Var on you, because yeah, I'm just doing that because I'm a bitch. But yeah, this quest is very easy to do. Like, it's almost impossible to be hindered from doing this one, so long as you know what you're doing. And it's not just these ones around the towers, they're all around the Arena District out here, so you don't have to stick to one spot, you can go to the entire district. So yeah, let's check if that other dude's here, and then just attack one of these guys. Oh, I did that a bit early. Yeah, there you go. So that's one there. And yeah, just repeat that until you get it done. And when you complete it, you just have to go back to the safe zone. Will always be at the entrance of the Imperial City safe zone. So it should be right here as an example for Old Mirror Dominion. So you just talk to her and complete it, and that will give you like Tel Var Satchel, which if you don't end up completing this, that's what you can use as well. Though what I would do is just kill them naturally with this now while you can, and then next time just use the Tel Var Satchel, because you'll be able to use the 200 up more effectively that way. And okay, so the last thing is, if you end up going into Imperial City to the districts and you get all the citizens, but you don't want to end up getting killed or going all the way back out, because once you get down there, it's like a well, it's way harder to get back out of. But there's a little cheesy strategy you can use here. If you go to Cyrodiil, go into campaign here, and then accept it just like you would for an Imperial City campaign. When it decides to load, there we go. Even if you're currently in combat with another player, if you do this, and obviously stay alive long enough for it to matter, it will port you to Cyrodiil, away from Imperial City, and from this point, all you have to do is go back into campaign, and it will take you to the safe zone. So you can just go hand in the quest that way. So it just skips having to deal with getting all the way back out, which, trust me, is a fucking pain in the ass. So there you go. There she is. Immediately we're done. I should point out as well, dealing damage in Battleground, Cyrodiil, or an Imperial City, this one is to players. So if you're looking to do this one in Imperial City, don't even bother. Unless you're good at fighting players, this one's going to suck. So yeah, just skip that one, I think. But yeah, foes in Imperial City, patrolling horrors, maybe 10 players in Cyrodiil if you follow like a ball group around. Or not a ball group, sorry, just like a group of players. Or you can sit at the top of the tower using your bow like the other people were there, blinking people. But just be aware, you'll get a lot of negative attention that way. Yeah, some of the players there, they will just eat up your damage and they'll just like shit it back out straight at you. And yeah, some of them are very good at that. But yeah, this option here, nowhere near as bad as it looks. Just sometimes it can be a pain in the ass because you just get killed over and over by some player running around. Because yeah, like I said, some of these dudes are nasty. Alright, so I'll just briefly go through a trial. Again, I really don't think this is worth the effort. But, you know, if you want to do the Gone Pursuit at the same time, it's fair. Because there is just one trial here as well for one of the options. That being said, you don't need to do this to get these Gone Pursuit done easily. But what I advise you do is just go to Group Finder, check what trials are available. If there's nothing, just do the other endeavors while you wait. And then if you're still waiting, if you still haven't done 3, then just check this one here again. After like 5 or 10 minutes, see if there's another trial up. And just understand there are heaps and heaps of guides out there. Some of the newer trials don't have as much, but especially some of the old trials have shit tons of guides. And even then, a lot of the old trials are easy to do anyway. So if you just join a group as a damage dealer, just make sure you got this one, because yeah, these other roles are a bit more, you got to know a bit more about the places. But yeah, if you're just a damage dealer, you can join, tell them you haven't done it before. Usually people will be pretty chill about it. There's always the chance you get someone in the group that's just like an idiot. But yeah, it doesn't really happen that much. I've probably done 500 trials, and I'd say 20 or 10 of those have been rough. And when I say rough, I don't really mean like people aren't able to do the trial very well. I just mean people are hostile. Because yeah, if people don't do the trial very well, it's fine. Anyway, so this one here, this is all the trials in the game at the moment. The blue ones are available for everybody. For the orange ones, you need to have that DLC unlocked in order to access them. Now, all of these trials here, I'm pretty sure also more of Locage. The only 3 that aren't the case is these 3 here, but everything else, you don't need to unlock it yourself to access it for the first time, or travel to somebody else. These are on the map as soon as you start the game. So yeah, you can just travel to these ones when you're ready. But yeah, I suggest trying Cloud Rest for your first trial, or Aetherian Archive. These 2 are probably the easiest to do in the game. So yeah, I'll make sure this is in the description. Also make sure you're familiar with the abbreviations, or just like have this open so you can check the abbreviations, because these tend to come up in the group finder a lot to signify which trial people are going to do. Because sometimes they won't actually put what trial it is in the thing. They'll just put like the letters and then leave it there. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. So if you have any questions, you know the drill. Just chuck something in the comments, or if you have anything you want to add about Tel Var Stones or any of the Golden Pursuit stuff, or like a stealing from the environment one you like, just chuck a comment in. Or if you want to ask something about a trial, maybe, yeah, just go ahead. But yeah, just do be aware sometimes trials take ages to form. Alright, I'll leave it there. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for your support as always. I'll see you next time. Take care for now.